Hi everyone, this is Susan and I'm going to show you how I created this Christmas card. The sets I've used to be able to create it, I am going to put a link down underneath this video. So with no further ado, I'm going to show you as well, teach you how we do the cards so that they are straight away cut at the edges. Um, we used to cut them by scissors, but recently I've been showing my students how to use a different tool to cut your card straight away. I will also show you how to bring in any images to be used in Craft Artist. So with no further ado, I'm going into a new sheet and I'm going to show you how I'm going to bring in the images I'm going to be using. These images, one set is called Watercolor Christmas Village, and the other one is called Watercolor Winter Scene. So I've already downloaded them, and I've got them. I've put a shortcut on the desktop, so I'll find them quickly. So the first thing I would do is go to Photos, and in Photos, I select Add. Now, when I add, I'll go on to where my pictures are. I know you've seen them there, but I'm showing you. I then go to the shortcut that sends me to those pictures. And the first thing I'm going to do is click on the first image and on the last one. And I'm going to add them into uh, the set. Now, a couple of those images are not part of the set, but please, um, I'll show you how I created them. The other set, I'm going to go back in. So I'm going to click add again because I've got another couple of pictures I want to use. And I'm going to go to find where they are. And they're in here. And I'm going to use this image there. So I'm going to bring just that image in. So that's how I've got all my pieces that I need in here. Now when you bring some images in, always look to see what you have to start with. Now, having seen what is in these two kits, or what I'm using from these two kits, the first thing I'm going to do is this. I'm going to go to stencils, and then stencils under shapes, you will find a stencil that's an exact perfect square. I'm going to make it bigger. Doesn't matter what size it is, you can always adjust the size after. Because it's a square, your image will always become a square, and then you can resize it to a 5 by 5, 7 by 7, 8 by 8, whatever you want. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm using the stencil because I said to my delegate that if you use the stencil and you place your images on, anything that goes outside the area where your card is going to be will automatically be cancelled out or cut out with the stencil when you lift it. So let me show you. I'm going to place my background, and usually I say don't stretch background, of course, always from a corner, but for what I need this for, I'm just going to stretch it along so that it covers the whole of my card area. Now, looking at them, I quite like this tree. I'm bringing this tree in and I'm placing it right at the top corner there. And I'm going to copy and paste it again. And I'm going to place it there. Well, actually, I'll put the one at the back that way. This one here. And this one, I'm going to make it a bit smaller. Now, if you look at these two images, you'll see that they're exactly the same. So you might fancy turning one of them over so that when you look at them, they don't instantly or straight away look identical. And then I need my little church. So I'm bringing the church in, and again, I'm going to resize it. And I'm going to place it just about somewhere there. Doesn't matter if part of the spire is out of the picture. That doesn't bother me whatsoever. All I'm interested in is to have my church with some trees that are to the side or behind it, like so. Now, the next step is looking through these images. I saw a beautiful wall, and I'm going to bring it in, and I'm going to place it there. Now, it doesn't matter that it looks so big, because I'm going to make it slightly smaller, because there is the church, and that gives you distance. So the wall is here, the church is at the back, that gives you the distance you need. Now, I thought this corner is a little bit bare, so again I looked through my images and I found this tree, which I thought was absolutely ideal for placing it this side of the wall. Okay, you can put it on the other side of the wall like a normal tree, but if you put it here, you get the benefit of that snow at the bottom of your stuff. And notice how when I lift this stencil, that is how it's going to cut my image. So I can go a bit bigger if you wanted to. It's entirely up to you. Something like that. Look at that. That is absolutely, in my opinion, gorgeous. But looking at that image now, let's just move it down a little. Looking at that image, yeah, I'll see. I'm not quite happy with this. I want it a little bit more like so. Okay. Looking at that image, it looks a bit bare. There's no life to it. So the next thing I needed was some birds. And I've got the bird house, which I brought in from a different set. The two sets are down below. But before I even do anything, I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to go on a new sheet and I'm going to paste them here. You'll see why in a second. Because what I would like to do is also cut these birds out. Now, you've got different ways of doing that. If I go into the rubber, I can easily just snip that bit out and snip that bit out. So, doesn't matter. And then I'll go around there. And I'm going to come down here like so. I'm going to take him off there. I'm going to clean him as much as I can, but not really doing. Now, when you do that, if you use the scissors and you cut a bit between them, you can get rid of the pieces you don't want. Now, I'm going to just get rid of some of this bit. So, I'm going to click here. Now, I'm going to go around his head like so. And I'm going to second Control Z. I'll do it along with my hand because I think it's better if I do it this way. It's not going to be really troublesome, because if you then see how I'm going to use the birds, they're going to be so small in the image, it will not show that there was any cuts. Now, in my original image, I had a bird which I brought from another kit, but I didn't know which kit it was. So I thought, what can I do for you? So I'm going to do this. I'm going to cut the legs out. Don't worry, no birds are being harmed by doing so. I'm just going to clean it up a bit. And you know why? Because it's going to go into, they're going to go into the snow where I'm going to put them. So it won't make much difference. It's just keep it nice and clean like so. Just going to go like, doesn't matter. So those are my birds. And another thing I'm going to use or need are the berries. So I'm going to bring the berries in. And again, for the berries, for some of the berries, I don't need all this. So what I'm going to do, move my bird out of the way. I'm going to take my rubber, and again, this time I'm going to get it rid of there and here. Use my scissors and get rid of the top part. Then I'm going to copy this again. So I'll have them ready for when I come to use them. So Control C, Control V, copy them, and I'm going to just cut it out so that I can have a bit more something like that. And because there is the snow, it doesn't really matter how I ended up, because it's just like a bunch of snow set onto some berries. That's all I need. Now this one, I can easily do something like that as well. And again, use the scissors if I've got an image like that to get rid of the pieces I don't want. So they are my few pieces I'm going to need. To find them easy, if I go to embellishment and just drop them in there. Now, because I don't like to save everything as a digikit, because otherwise I'll end up with too many stuff, I'll keep them on the page just so that if I need them again when I reopen this, because I'll save it, when I remote, I will have them there ready to just put in the embellishments to use them next time now. So now I need from the images my original bird image. Here. And it's very big. So I'm going to make it a lot smaller. And I'm going to place it on the pillar or post for the gate. It can be a bit bigger, only because the church is far away. So that's going to be just there. Now, what am I going to do with those berries? Firstly, I'm going to start pretending there is a tree coming from the right hand side, but it's just off my image. So what I'm going to do to create that illusion, I'm going to make it a lot smaller, because it needs to be compared to the birds. The berries needs to be smaller, and I'm going to horizontally flip it over so that I can place it somewhere like so. And then I can copy it, paste it, and again, if I place it somewhere here, I can turn it around a little so they don't be exactly the same. If I bring this one forward, you can see I've got berries there, but you only think that there is. I'm going to copy, paste, and I'm going to bring it there. There is some kind of a tree on the side. It's going to be outside from the edge of my image. Now, I was not happy with just those. So what I did, I'm going to go and bring in this sledge. Now it's very big. So again, I'll just resize it to the size of the image as required, like so. And then I thought, you know what, if we place a few of those berries that we prepared, so some of these berries, of course, I need to make them a lot smaller, and place them on there as if they fell and they came on the ledge or toboggan, whatever you'd like to call it. You can place a few berries there. Now that we have them sized how we want, I might even place some on the floor. If they fell on the floor, just some berries there. And if you want, you can have a few more. You need to be a little bit smaller. So I might just use my stamp mode and just stamp a few like so, so that it looks like there are berries on there. Now where you see berries, you'll find birds. So I'm bringing my bird, I'm making it the same size as the others. That's why I said it won't matter if there are no legs to be seen, because it looks as if they are in the snow. That doesn't really make much difference. And then I'm going to do the other bird, looking the other way. And again, make him a lot smaller. And I'm going to place him somewhere there, as if there are birds around trying to eat the berries. Now, you don't want to have anything that looks exactly the same, so I just flip it over. You got some different birds there. I could copy that, place one on the wall here or by the tree here, and one up here, and you turn it the other way. So again, I've got something that looks slightly different. Okay, okay. Now he's on the snow again there. I'm going to bring a couple of these berries, holding the control. You can also do it that way. As if they fell there, or they brought them there. Another quick trick, well, like those who do lessons with me, no, I never end up doing one thing that I say I'm going to be doing. I always then add some more. So if I take the rubber again and just this time go around just one or one like that, you can easily take it and place them on your image wherever you take your pen, as if they actually fallen everywhere. I'm happy with that. So the last thing needed would be to lift my stencil. I'm going to click on stencil. Let me make it a bit smaller so you can see the effect. And I'm going to lift my stencil. And there goes. What a lovely scene. Now, one of my ladies said, what if I wanted to put Merry Christmas on the gate? I said, that's easy. We take a little box, we'll draw it there, from one to another. Okay. You can make it a little bit bigger if you like. And then I colored it all in white. And what I did was I placed a very small Merry Christmas with a font that you can actually read. So Merry Christmas. And I placed them in the center like so. I chose the color to be the berry color. So you can go to pick a color from the berries and then do your text in the same color. And I've placed it on here. Made it a bit smaller so it fitted on Merry Christmas. And then what I did, thinking about it being the church, I'm going to take the line out there, or do a red line there. I think it would look nicer. Let me do that. A line there. I always change things when I'm working. Then I brought in either a little bird, or you can do the church again, or a little tree. You can do what, or a lantern. She brings something in, make it smaller. It needs to fit on here. And you've got something that looks quite interesting, created by yourself. One other thing that you could do, a couple of little circles, or just, I'll tell you what, the berries. You took the berries, oh, I haven't got one. Let's do the circles again. I told you, I keep changing my mind. If I hold the shift, it will come further. One on there, oh, have I held the shift right? Let me do it again, hold on. I'm going to do two little circles, maybe red. And I'm going to place one here, holding the toast, and one up there. If you want them smaller, you can do them smaller. And one last thing, there was something else. One of my ladies during the session, what they did, they took this and they placed it all over on the trees, as if it's a festive tree lights on your tree. It's entirely up to you. Personally, then it starts being a little bit too busy. So I'm gonna, and I've added more. So I'm gonna stop it with that. Now, if I highlight everything, let's get rid of this. I'll get it afterwards. Then I go to tools, convert to picture, so it becomes one image. That's done. Get rid of that. If you like, you can have another box around it. Entirely up to you. If you want, you can have another box around it, like so. You give it the same line color. Whoa, line color. There. And you could say you want a double line and then make it a bit bigger. And here goes. We've got a lovely Christmas card set. I hope you like this tutorial. If you like it, we appreciate a thumbs up, but that's up to you. I'll also be prepared to do some more. I will put the links to these two DigiKits or kits that I've used, so you know where to find them if you are interested in creating something like this. Please do enjoy Craft Artist. It's a great package and you can do whatever your imagination takes you. Thank you for listening and hope to see you on the next one.